history, one will find many kings who were brave conquerors and valiant soldiers. But Ashoka stands above all. Ashoka was the only ruler who at the zenith of his conquests saw the futility of violence and had the courage to renounce it. Thus said H.G. Wells in his short history of the world, Ashoka's 20 years of rule was one of the brightest interludes in the troubled history of mankind. Today, I am going to tell you the story of Ashoka. Ashoka was the son of King Bindusar, who ruled India in the 3rd century BC. Pataliputra was his capital, which is today known as Patna, in the state of Bihar, India. He excelled his brothers in the art of war. Even at a young age, he successfully suppressed the rebels in the distant province of Takshila. The king was happy. Ashoka's brothers, however, were not happy. They felt unhappier when their father bestowed Ashoka with honor. The king was worried as to what happens to the kingdom. "Why do you worry, king?" asked the minister. The king said, "Ashoka is ruthless. I am afraid after my death, my sons will fight and Ashoka will not spare them." Soon a messenger came and informed, "A rebel force is on the rise at Ujjain." When Ashoka arrived, his father asked him to go to Ujjain and suppress the rebels. Bindusar said to Ashoka, "I need an able viceroy at Ujjain." Ashoka immediately replied, "Father, I would love to go to south." When Ashoka's father hesitated, Ashoka said, "I'll be glad to be the viceroy designate at Ujjain as long as you want me to." Ashoka's brothers were happy, as this meant Ashoka would be away from the capital and they could manipulate their father. Soon afterwards, Ashoka left Pataliputra on his way to Ujjain. Most of his journey towards Ujjain was on horseback. On his way, he crossed the beautiful city of Vidishanagar, a city of Buddhists. He asked his people to camp near Vidishanagar. A little while later, when Ashoka was resting under a tree, he saw a group of girls on their way to the temple. Ashoka was charmed by the beauty of the leader, Vidisha. He asked, "Which temple are you going to?" Vidisha responded, "We are not going to a temple. We are going to Chaitya, the congregation of the Buddhists, under the Bodhi tree on the roadside." "Then you are a Buddhist?" enquired Ashoka. The girl happily said, "Yes." Her friends were getting impatient. They called, "Vidisha, we are getting late. Let us go." Ashoka kept looking at her until she disappeared. Then he called his messenger and asked him to find out where Vidisha's parents live. "I want to see them," said Ashoka. He was overwhelmed by Vidisha's beauty. The messenger soon came back with the news that she is the daughter of a merchant. Ashoka said, "Tell the merchant that I want to meet him." The merchant was shocked to see Ashoka. "I want a favor from you," said Ashoka. I want the hands of your lovely daughter, Vidisha, requested Ashoka. The merchant was overjoyed. I am greatly honored. I am more than happy for my daughter. After a quick wedding, Ashoka proceeded towards Ujjain along with Vidisha. Ashoka was a great warrior, and in no time he defeated the rebels. The rebels laid down their arms. The people of Ujjain gave Ashoka a grand welcome, and Ashoka established himself as the viceroy. Vidisha, however, was not happy. She did not join the celebration and kept herself isolated in the garden. Ashoka was surprised. When Ashoka asked what was wrong, she said sadly, I dislike killing, even in battles, especially by you. Ashoka said, that's silly. You say this because you are a Buddhist. I am a Kshatriya, Ashoka said. It is my duty to rule and kill if necessary. What about Bimbisar, another powerful ruler? Objected Vidisha. He found peace in the teachings of Buddha. Ashoka did not reply. But the difference between Ashoka and Vidisha persisted. Few months later, Vidisha gave birth to a son. Ashoka named him Mahendra, meaning conqueror of the world. Vidisha said, I wish he conquers the hearts of men as Prince Siddhartha did, who later became Buddha. 2 years later, Vidisha gave birth to a daughter. Vidisha said, Lord, this time let me choose the name. Ashoka agreed. She was named Sanghamitra, meaning the friend of the Buddhist Sangha. That's a Buddhist name, said Ashoka, but I will agree. One day, a messenger came from Pataliputra to inform Ashoka that his father was not keeping well. Ashoka came for a consultation with Vidisha. My father is ill. I have to rush to Pataliputra. I am coming with you, said Vidisha. Ashoka replied with concern. You are not yet fit, and it is a long journey. I am going to leave you with your parents. Then they started for Vidishanagar. Reaching there, Ashoka requested Vidisha, don't teach my son Mahendra about non-violence. He is the future ruler. I want him to be the king of kings. Finally, before his departure, Ashoka asked, before I leave, Vidisha, is there anything you want me to do? Yes, but give me your word that you will. I will. What is it? Asked Ashoka with surprise. Vidisha said, I want you to shun violence of all kinds. Ashoka promised with reservation. Upon reaching Pataliputra, Ashoka was received by the chief minister. The chief minister said with grief, Prince, your father has left for heaven, and your brothers are fighting for the throne. Ashoka shouted, the throne is mine, and I have earned the right to it. Ashoka forgot all about the promise he made to Vidisha. Ashoka was ruthless in killing all those who challenged his right to the throne. Sumana Devi, wife of one of his brothers, was then expecting a baby. The maid said, "Princess, I fear for the life of the unborn child. I suggest you run away from here as soon as you can." "But where and how?" said the princess. "I will show you a secret path to get out of the palace. Then you will be on your own," said the maid. Escaping from the palace, Sumana Devi wandered in the forest until she met an old man who took pity on her. The old man asked the princess to come and stay in his house until the baby was born. But she felt sick on the way. The old man said, "Don't worry, my house is not very far from here. I will get my wife. You lie down under the Nigrod tree." The old man and his wife quickly came, and under the Nigrod tree found a boy was born to Sumana Devi. He was named Nigrod Kumar. Nigrod Kumar grew up in that village and became a monk at a very tender age. Meanwhile, Ashoka had become a powerful king. No one could dare to challenge his monarchy. But he was not comfortable with Kalinga, one of the independent adjoining states. Independence of Kalinga bothered Ashoka. He wanted Kalinga to be a part of his kingdom. Soon Ashoka's army invaded Kalinga. The soldiers of Kalinga fought bravely. But Ashoka's army was more powerful and a lot bigger. When the news of victory reached Ashoka, he said to the commander, "I shall visit Kalinga." As he proceeded, he saw horrible sights. Heaps of dead bodies. "How many are they?" asked Ashoka to his commander. "More than 100,000, my lord." When Ashoka reached Kalinga, he saw the captives. Upon seeing Ashoka, they cried, "Have mercy on us! Have mercy on us, O Lord!" Ashoka asked, "How many are they?" "We have captured 150,000 men," said the commander. When Ashoka further proceeded, the entire city was desolate. Very sadly, Ashoka looked at the city. When the commander said, "Lord, with the death of 100,000 men and 150,000 in captivity, there are not many survivors left in the city." Ashoka saw the sufferings of the people. He did not want to stay in Kalinga anymore. He ordered for a quick return to his palace in Pataliputra. But he never could stay in peace. The disaster of the Kalinga war touched him so deeply that he spent sleepless nights. To add to his grief, a messenger came from Vidishanagar with a letter from Vidisha. Vidisha wrote, "Aryaputra, you have broken the promise. I am sending the children to you. Please look after them properly." "Where is Vidisha?" asked Ashoka. The messenger said, "She plans to join the Sangha of Buddha." Ashoka drew some comfort from the presence of his children, but continued to brood over the killings of Kalinga. One day from his palace window, he saw a monk passing along the road. Ashoka was drawn towards the monk and asked to himself, "Who can he be? Why do I feel so close to him?" He asked his attendant to go quickly and fetch the monk. When the monk came, Ashoka asked, "Who are you?" The boy calmly replied, "I'm a monk." "May I know your name?" asked Ashoka. "My mother used to call me Nigrod Kumar," said the monk. "That is the name of my brother's son. Are you my nephew?" asked Ashoka. "Yes, I am your nephew, and I know what is going on in your mind." "You hate me, don't you?" asked Ashoka. The young monk said, "Why should I? Because you killed my father?" Ashoka shouted in despair, "Isn't that enough reason to hate me?" Nigrod Kumar quietly replied, "Hatred is destructive. I love all. Hate should be conquered by love." "Where did you learn this at this young age?" inquired Ashoka. "From the teachings of Buddha," said the boy. "They bring peace to troubled minds." Helplessly, Ashoka said, "My mind has not known peace." "Then seek refuge in Buddha," said the monk. "Will you accept me as your disciple?" asked Ashoka. "Yes, I will," said the monk, and asked Ashoka to repeat after him. "I take refuge in Buddha. I take refuge in Buddha." Ashoka continued, "I take refuge in Buddha. I take refuge in Buddha. I take refuge in Sangha. I take refuge in Dharma." Then Ashoka sat down in meditation, purifying his mind to attain peace. Nigrod Kumar watched the change in Ashoka as time passed by. Ashoka was transformed from his violent life to a peaceful life. All his attention now was on bringing peace and happiness to the people. He established rest houses for the travelers and dispensaries for the sick. He erected pillars and carved instructions on rocks, asking people to love God and all living beings. He began to lead a simple life. One day, his son Mahendra came and said, "Father, you have given away all things of pleasure, except..." "Except what, Mahendra?" asked Ashoka impatiently. "Your children," was the answer from Mahendra. "I want to join Sangha." "Must you, Mahendra?" asked Ashoka. "It is with a heavy heart, but I give you permission." In a few days, Ashoka's daughter Sangamitra came and said, "Father, allow me to join the nunnery." Ashoka was shocked. Sangamitra appealed, "Father, my husband and son have renounced the world. I take no pleasure in life." With a heavy heart, Ashoka said, "You may join the nunnery, Sangamitra. May Buddha bless you." After a few years, Ashoka's son came back and sought his permission to go to Lanka for the spread of Buddhism. Ashok blessed Mahindra, now a monk, and asked him to spread the message of Buddha all over the world. 2 years after Mahindra's departure, Sanghamitra came to Ashok and said, "Father, I have come to bid you goodbye. I am called to Lanka. They need nuns at the mission. Please bless me." Ashok, now an old king, bid his daughter goodbye, saying, "Sanghamitra, I have grown old. It is becoming increasingly difficult for me to bear the grief of separation. Yet, for the cause of Buddha, you have to go. I bless you with all my heart." With the departure of his daughter, tears rolled down his eyes, and the mighty King Ashok felt helpless. He remembered his wife, Vidisha. "Your children have left me, just as you did, for the sake of Dharma." Nigrodh Kumar came and consoled him. The monk said, "By sacrificing your dear ones, you have proven that Dharma, the righteous duty, is dear to you." Ashok was known as Dharma Ashok, the dutiful Ashok, and he ruled for many years and looked after the welfare of the subjects of his vast empire, as a father would look after his children. Ashok's principles are still considered as a role model for all rulers. The national flag of independent India is adorned by the Dharma Chakra as found on Ashok's pillar. Namaskar.